Okay, this is going to be a tutorial walkthrough of all the collectible locations for the mod The Dreamlands. There's a few things to find in here that are not immediately apparent, so if you're wondering, this mod will contain all 9 locations for the mod and everything there is to find in there. There's full spoilers ahead. I'll be putting timestamps down in this description for each one that you want to skip ahead to, but we're going to start right at the beginning. So go ahead, come over here in the lodge. This is the book you're going to need to pick up right here. And that'll kick off the quest to start it. Alright, well, there's nothing to find in here. This is basically just a tutorial. I will do just a quick walkthrough in case you're getting stuck here, you don't know where to go. It's a little disorienting to come in here the first time everything's upside down. It definitely takes some getting used to navigate. However, you really only have to do it once. I'm gonna go God mode for now. This will give you a little overview. You can't die when you're in a dream. You'll just respawn back at where you slept, but you'll have kept your progress. If you have the Dreamcatcher in your inventory, you won't dream. It automatically adds one to your inventory after this message, which some people don't realize, and then they sleep and then they can't dream afterwards. So I should probably look into getting a better way to get one. It is a little annoying, but as of now, that is how the mod shipped. Okay, so when you finish a dream, that is getting to the end, sleeping in the bed, you get a motivated status. It grants a random perk for an hour, and this can be any perk out of the entire tree. Oops. So let's see. Okay, it looks like I got Neuro Strikes this time. So it can be a very high level one. It can be a low level one as well. And it cannot give you one that you already have. So it'll always give you a new one. You can stack this effect up to 5 times. So if you go through 5 different dreams in an hour, you'll have 5 random perks that you can keep for the duration of that effect. Every time you go through a new dream, it resets the timer. So if you go through at least one every hour, you'll keep your 5 perks that you stacked. With the new update, there should be one coming out this week, version 1.01. There will be a gameplay option to unlock all the dreams. Usually, if you're playing in what I've called story mode, Your dream progression will be locked behind main quest. So there's 4 originally, and then there's 4 more that you can unlock doing side quests and main quests. If you keep it on this, that's the default behavior. You'll get random dreams in a random order that unlock with story mode. If you go to unlock all, it is going to keep them in a fixed order, and it'll unlock all of them, as the name implies. So if you've done the main story a bunch and you're not looking to do it on this run through, or you want to experience all the mod has to offer, you can select this option. All of the discoverables are in the main quest missions, and you unlock them all, like, I think once you get to Neon, or about halfway through. So it's not a huge, it's not a huge commitment to get all the way through, but to unlock the final quest, you do have to meet the Starborn. So this will break progression of the story, but it'll let you experience everything right away. Okay, so we're in the Vectera, quote-unquote, dream. There are a few things to find in here. The first one is going to be right down here, below this outcropping. If you shoot this destructible wall, and you come in here, you'll find a little grave site. These weren't mentioned in the description, but if you collect all these little toys here, you also get just a little piece of loot whenever you dig these up. Can be something kind of good or some trash. These aren't mentioned in the description, but if you dig up all of these toys here, you can actually give them to the NPC at the end of at the last quest, and then he'll give you a little special reward. So that is something to keep an eye out for. Moving on, after you have the room with the minor enemies that shoot you with the lasers, if you come right around the corner, on these boxes, a little out of view here, is going to be the recipe for the Deadeye Chem. This little activity it gives you over here is bringing it to the Neon vendor, so you're going to have to progress until you can get to the Neon Dream. You do a little fetch quest for her, and it gets her up and running, and that's who you can give those to get the special chems going for the mod. Something to note is this is not a dead end here. You actually have to fire your way through this destructible wall here. You'll poke out into the Vectera mine. Once you get past the enemies in this room, the spawn room of the game, you will actually have, there's a secret discoverable here. It's the fog wall kind of style thing. You're going to have to get the 9th item from the Neon vendor. Once you do that, every time you see a wall that has this little symbol on it here, that means that you're going to be able to use this and ping it away. So if you're looking at the wall that can be, well, disappeared, anytime during the effects of this chem, I think it's 30 seconds, if you make eye contact with the wall, it'll always disappear. You'll get that ding sound, that's how you know. So if you come in here, this is where the Heat Leech companion is going to be. Sancho is his name. I was reading a little bit too much Don Quixote when I named him. But you step in here, you'll be greeted with some heat leeches. There's a little audio stinger, he'll jump out. Once you take him down, man, he's big. If you loot his body, don't forget to do this. That's where you'll find the canned heat leech. He's got a nice little model here. Thank you to Namori for doing that. It is really fantastic. And you can see him floating around in there too, which is very cool. You can favorite this, and then you can just deploy him anytime. He's an ingestible, apparently. Yummy. Might have to change that. He's a little bit bigger than your regular heat leech. Can't kill him. He'll do your fight for you though, hopefully. And then to get him back in, or to, you know, bottle him up again, whatever. He lives in that little bottle. All you got to do is go up to him and interact. Oh, you can't interact during combat, actually. I'm trying my absolute best to fix that, but out of combat you can talk to him and you'll slurp him right back up. Alright, coming down to the last part of the dream, you're gonna have to get up the shaft. If you activate the switch, you'll go into a little bit of zero gravity. I was trying to play around with zero gravity sequences in this mod. So there are a few. You'll immediately get taken out, and this will be the end. To reach the end, you sleep in the bed, you get the motivated effect when you wake up, and this is where the unique weapon is. It's a little more powerful when it's fully charged. It takes a little bit more time to power up, but it also doubles the range of the laser beam, which is super nice in my opinion. Alright, we're coming now to the artifact cave. This is a big one. You can always escape anytime. This is not just for this stream, but for all of them. There's always a bed right here at spawn, so if you want to go back, you can just sleep and get out. There's also always a Dreamcatcher in case you lost yours and need to get one back. You can always pick one up from here. So the first thing we're going to check out is the chem location. Just coming right of spawn, you turn right, you'll see this little building right here. Fight off some robots, you know, do whatever. And the location is gonna get out of there. Anyways, the location for the Turtle Master is gonna be right on top of this, desk here. You can also, if you have strength training, I think it's 3. It might be 4, but if you have strength training 3 or 4, you can come over to here. You can interact with the exposed wires, and it'll be a little, you know, special check basically. You can pull them loose, and then that'll actually skip the little quest you have to do here. You can go right to your marker. But I'll show you how to complete this one as well. I'm gonna head over to the marker. I'll catch you over there. Approaching the marker, you have this big rotating platform thing. It'll give you two waypoints, 2 locations that you have to go to. There's not really anything else to see in this cave other than these 2 locations here. So you can go to either one first. I'm going to go to this one over here on the left. And all you have to do is fight through these enemies and make your way over to the waypoint. Alright, so we're coming to the end here of the of this little portion. You got your marker here. You activate the lever. That'll update your log. This little floaty thing here, it's too bright. But anyways, if you activate it, that'll return you back to here, so you don't have to walk all the way through. And now we're gonna head over to the right side and go for the other lever. Alright, so coming to the end of the other wing of the level, you're gonna have to go through some dark fog and fight some invisible enemies. A bit of a hairy one. It's a little bit of a wombo combo. You find your lever here. Your return to the entrance point is right over there. But you do have a fog wall over here, as you can see. So you take your 9th eye, it'll pop open. It's all blue and cold. And you'll run through here, and this is where you'll find another copy of one of the Dreamlands volumes. These are upgraded for upgrading the weapons that you can find. So, like we found the dicer in one of the other levels. You can find some weapons. You can upgrade them at the end of the quest if you have enough of these volumes of books. I'll show you how to do that later, but if you're coming through here, make sure to pick that up. And I'm gonna return to the entrance over here, and this is where we can activate the final stage of this little quest. So if you come here, you can actually destroy this big old guy. You can do it with a weapon. You can do it with cutter. or any laser weapon as well. While you're doing this, it does have quite a bit of health. I think 3,500. This thing isn't doing a lot of damage. Let's equip. Oh no, I don't have. Okay, we'll just use this. There we go. These guys will come in to try to thwart you, so you got to do battle with these guys. I'll catch you back when I've taken them out. Okay, so there you have it. All the enemies have been vanquished, if you will. You can fly on in here. And this is, it's basically a little, like, quantum essence spender, recycler, whatever. So it'll tell you how many you have, how many quantum essence particles, whatever things you have. And you can spend them for, some are permanent bonuses. You can raise your boost capacity by a little bit. I don't have enough, so it's not going to work. You can raise your carry capacity. This is a random. It'll give you one of these, but it also has an equal amount of negative effects. So you can roll the dice there. For 3, you can get something really good, or you can get something that'll be bad. That'll be annoying. Once you complete this as well, you don't have to do this every time you come into the dream. So if you do happen to find yourself in this, dream sequence after you beat it, you can just come right on in to the middle of the crater or whatever, and spend your quantum essence. You will respawn over back by the other bed. I actually think I'm going to change that, so once you've completed it, you spawn in here, so you don't have to run through. But there's one more thing to find in this level, actually, that I forgot to show you. It is back over near the Turtle Master Camp, so I'll see you over there. Okay, final thing, if you come on top of the building over in the back here, take a peek. There's a little Astra hiding right there. You can also find one of the grave sites that you can dig up. There you have it. Collect that toy. The bed is in the middle of the crater to escape. Alright, so we come to the Kreet Base portion of the dream. This is segmented into recognizable parts of Kreet, mixed in with some other, more fantastical-like portions. The first thing to find here is actually going to be your fog wall. So if you take a little detour across these floating rocks, you can hop down. Where is it? Oh boy. You can hop down right here. And this will take you down a path to the bottom. So let's get down there real quick. Come to the bottom. This fog wall actually works a little differently than the others. It doesn't make anything disappear, it actually makes something appear. So you have this colorful arch here. You take it, and you get this Starborn-esque kind of door. Interact with it, and you get blinded. Oh. You get absolutely blinded by the brightness. You come in here, grab the book to upgrade. Maybe, maybe that needs to change. If you're playing this in a dark room, that might kill you. Anyways, the next thing we are going to find is going to be the dig site. That's quite a bit a ways on in the level, so I'm going to hop over there. Okay, so once you have done some of the like low gravity island hopping in the Pacific, you can come right to the top of this, where you've had the guy up here right before you jump over to that area. There's a little archway. If you come through and come down, it's real out of the way, but if you come over here, you'll find a grave site that you can dig up and grab another toy. The next thing is going to be the Floatio's recipe. That is actually on top of the roof here. So it's way out of the way, so you definitely can miss it pretty easily. It's not supposed to be easy to find, but it definitely is not going to be the most obvious thing. Come right here behind this broken generator. It is right here. And that is basically just inspired by those little orange thingies that make you bounce up and down. This will make you kind of float every time you take it. Pretty fun to use. Alright. That is it for this level. We're gonna head off to the next one. Oh, yeah, and the bed to escape this level is right down here. If you go through this portion of the map, up the stairs at the end where you usually exit the main quest, you'll find a bed. And that's how you get out. Okay, so this is the Galbank level. This will, if you're playing on story mode, you know, the game setting, this will only unlock after you complete the level where you go into here with Samco and steal the maps from the vault. I think there is a dig site in here. It doesn't have a toy. It'll just give you a little bit of loot. It is behind this door here. It's not really all that important because there's no toy for the collectibles quest at the end, but you can grab this if you'd like. Let's see what I got. I got some ammo. That's cool, I guess. Not super helpful, but just a little something to find if you can pick your master locks. Now this, if you have security rank 3 or 4, you can actually hack this switch to give you extra time on this challenge. What this is, it's basically, you know, you gotta kill all your enemies in, I think it's 90 seconds. So you run in here, they'll all aggro at you. Your job is to come in here and take them all out. Now this will be quite challenging on the lower levels. But as you progress, this should become more doable. But you will need to be kitted out for sure, or in God mode like I am. Alright, so I'm just going to play this out, and I'll catch up with you when everything... I'll leave it rolling. The fog wall is... Ooh, it's over here. I'm gonna take these guys out first. Okay, there we are. The update on the message is a little laggy, but it will update accordingly. So to get your fog wall, you come right over here. And wow, that is dark. This screen space is really dark. Okay, you come over here and you'll get a little Samco-esque kind of, you know, room. This is where one of your books is. Grab your book and then head to the vault for the reward. I really like this one as well. I think this is pretty cool. It is a credit shooter. It shoots credits, and it actually does, you know, take them out of your inventory as well. So that's the completion of the mission. You can get all these money things if you want. Weapon's going to be in here. There's a little story data slate. It only displays 4 values on the credit display. It corresponds to your credits here, but you see we're not getting that 9 tacked on at the end. Oh, I'm in God mode, so it's not going to tick down, but you get the point. Now, there is a Dreamer's Weapon in here as well. This is tricky. This whiteboard will actually tally the amount of times that you complete that little challenge. So we completed it once, so we have one tally here. I think it counts up to 5 times, but if you complete this 3 times, you are going to get a little key that spawns right in the middle of that handprint there. So you complete this challenge 3 times, and that key will open up the display case, and you can grab that weapon there. Also in here, I almost forgot, is you can actually activate this computer. It's called the Percolator, and you can buy skill points for 35,000. There you are. And it will have given you, I already had 3. I have 4, let's buy 1 more. 35,000. Pretty steep. There we go. And now you can see I have 5. If you don't have 35,000 credits, you're just gonna get nothing. Okay, that's it for that level. Okay, so we've come to the neon level. This is where you're gonna get your chems, get everything set up, and start buying some of the unique stuff for the mod. To do this, you're gonna have to talk to the vendor here. It's done by my own voice, and I hate listening to that. But let's just let's go through this. Okay. Yep, sure. I'll see what I can do. Thanks. And she gives you one. This will kind of be like a walkthrough, just a small tutorial on how to use the 9th eye chem. You come down here and oh my goodness, these guys are huge. Whoa. Okay, those might be a little too big. I remember making them big. We're gonna keep them like that. You can hop up these crates here. You'll find your dig site. There is a toy in this one. All the toys can be found in all the main story missions. You don't have to do any of the side ones to get them. And then what you want to do is you just want to run down to the end of the Astral Lounge. It says so in the dialogue. Let's see what we get. Yeah, yeah. These quest markers are finicky because of the way that I laid out the interiors. I will definitely take a look into fixing that. But if you come down, hello. If you come up to here, the dialogue says you go to the top of the stairs. You have a little light shining on your little marker. You take that, you'll find what you're looking for at the end of the hallway down here. There is a quest marker on this one. There you are. You can eat it. It will increase your chem effects by 15%. The duration, I should have said. Duration of all chem effects. That'll be fixed in version 1.01. If you do that though, you will have higher prices with the chem vendor. So I'm just gonna take it. I'm not gonna eat it. And now you can return back. You can fly down here. You fight some Astral Lounge dancers who unfortunately have to be wearing a spacesuit. If the player is in 0G, it automatically equips spacesuits to all the NPCs, and there's no way to not have them have spacesuits. So I wanted to have them in the weird, you know, Teletubby uniforms, but that did not happen. So we're gonna have to deal with it as it is. You run out and you run back to the end, and I'll catch you down at the end when we are talking to the vendor. Okay, so we're coming back. She's just sitting here.
You made it back. And in one.
Why aren't you looking at me? Here she is.
Yes.
Okay, there you are.
Oh, by the way.
Yep.
Nose.
Yep. Okay, there she is. So she's all set up.
Welcome back.
If you have any recipes on you, you'll have this this dialogue option.
Great. Give me a few days and I should have some.
If you give them to her before you actually activate her, it will refresh right away. But if you look at her stock
Sure
first,
thing.
she will not. So here we can see all the recipes we gave to her. You got the Floatio ones. I think I took the other two that we found earlier out of my inventory. But if you have all of them, it'll just give them all of them. So now you can buy your Floatios, whatever. You can buy your Ninth Eyes, sure. And she also sells all the other drugs. And if you did give her lunch back, you get a discount. She's selling things pretty cheap. And if you ate it, you now have to pay, I think, double. So it's not much of a choice there. However, if you're feeling rich, you could stack that up through multiple playthroughs and then end up with pretty hefty duration on those chems. But anyways, you're gonna have to come back here if you want to buy more. So I recommend when you do end up here, you stock up. I will be looking at a way to choose where you want to go, but for now, this is how it works in the mod. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next one. I think this is the Vanguard. It is indeed. So this one has a literal maze in it, and there are terramorphs in that maze. So have lots of fun with that. I'll show you the layout here. I think I can remember it. Something helpful to keep in mind is if you follow the blood trails, it'll generally lead you to the exit. So let's follow. You can go either way. Eventually, they both lead to the same place. Let's follow this one. And we ran into our friend here. They're really high level. I wouldn't even recommend fighting them. They're not supposed to be killed. What a nightmare this is. I guess that's why I called the Dreamlands. So we're following the blood stains on the floor generally. Okay. Sure. I think that's the exit for this one right here. Yeah. So that points us around, swing around, come right down this way, and you go through here. There is a small amount of loot to be found in there if you want to spend more time in there, but if you just want to head out, this is your way. Come down here. Okay, you get that little bit of interesting. He did not notice me. Yeah, I did. You have a bad reflection volume seam right there. Take note. If you run through here, you'll come out through the I forget what this is called, the orientation hall. Once you get down to the end, there'll be your little sanitation bot dude. You come to the elevator, and you can go up this elevator shaft here. This is a bit of a parkour challenge. Most of the time, all of the time, where you want to target to jump to will be marked in red, in that red light. So that makes it just a little easier to navigate, hopefully. If you're not in God mode, this will be a little trickier. Hopefully not too hard. Come up here, you can jump across here. You can make that jump there. You can make the jump through there, and then up to here. There is a gravesite in this level, but since it's not a main story, it is not 100% necessary. But it is down right here in the middle of the elevator shaft, so you can hop down there and grab that. The rest of the level is pretty straightforward. I'll catch you back in the subsection 7 area, and there's a little something to be seen there. Okay, so once you come down through the vents, and hop down through here, you'll be in the subsection 7 million, I think I called it. There is a little discoverable here. It is behind this door, which requires a key. There you come to the little Seinfeld reference area here. If you have lockpick, you can unlock that. There'll be a key card on the table. If you take that and run up here, not only will you be able to unlock everything else, which isn't locked behind a key, it's just, I think, behind expert locks, but you can also unlock this one, and there is, I forget what's in here. Oh yeah, okay, so there you are. So you have Hades' dinner. She's apparently going all around the Dreamlands, misplacing her containers of lunch. So this will permanently decrease all incoming damage from non-human creatures by 15%. That doesn't respawn. You cannot stack that. Over multiple playthroughs you can stack that, if that is what you're looking for. But to continue through the level, you come out through here, and then at the end of this cave, there'll be a giant silo, and that is where the fog wall is. Alright, so here we are. We're getting lit up by our enemies. You take the 9th eye, and there you are. There's a little Astra container, yeah. And then you have your legendary weapons. Okay, I was going to say he's selling 25 weapons, which is too much. He's selling 15, which is still quite a bit, but they are pretty hefty, pretty expensive. But they're also legendary, so, you know, hopefully it's a good trade-off. We will see what people think of that. But that is the end of that mission, and I think that brings us to the end of all of the dreams. Okay, so that was all the dream locations that you can visit. Now, to activate the final mission, where it takes you to some old Earth ruins, this is very important. You have to have completed the main story up until the point where you meet the hunter and the emissary, where you board their ship and they tell you all about being a Starborn or the Unity. You have to have completed the main story up to that point, and you have to have visited all of the dream locations that pop up as a consequence of completing the main story. So that would be Vectera, Kreet, Artifact, I think you have to visit as well because it's a default, Galbank, and Neon. You don't have to, you know, quote-unquote complete them or complete whatever quest pops up or get to the end, whatever. You just have to have visited them. And once you have done that, you will start getting this data slate that appears on the beds in the Dreamlands. I think on Galbank it's at the start and at the end. In most of them, it's just on the last bed. So once you've completed all the prerequisites, if you run through your dream level, you'll find a data slate on the bed at the end. This one's floating. Don't know why. You read it, and that'll start your final quest. So I will be back with you once I fast travel there, and I will walk you through the last quest.